And so are we willing to say, like Jesus, I'm not going to do what you expect of me, but what I am going to do is going to lead souls to Christ. I may not even get to do what I thought I was going to do, but if I let him have his way, souls will be saved. And since that's what matters to him, that has to become what matters to me. In John chapter 12, when Jesus was troubled, it says that his soul was overwhelmed. He prayed this simple prayer: Father, glorify your name. Now, around here, we say often, when Jesus is glorified, souls are redeemed. The question is, how is Jesus glorified? Because I'm not sure there's a word that we as Christians misuse more than glory. Right? Like some people shout it, some people sing it, and a lot of it, the stuff that gets called glory, I'm not even sure it comes from God, much less points back to him. So if we are saying that where Jesus is glorified, souls are redeemed, what does it mean for him to be glorified? What does glory mean? Joanne shared with us just this week in the Facebook Bible reading group that the Hebrew word that we translate glory means heavy or weighty. It points to the significance of or worth of something. So Jesus is glorified when the significance of who he is displayed. Let me say that again. Jesus is glorified when the significance of who he is displayed. How do we do that? How do we display his significance? What does that look like? I think the only way to understand what glorifying Jesus looks like is to look at how Jesus glorified his Father. Right? Because he is our perfect example, not only of what God is, but as who we were created to be. And so if I want to know how to glorify Jesus, it's not easy to do, but it's easy to find the example. Just look at how Jesus glorified the Father. Scripture says that he glorified the Father by submitting his life to him, by willingly laying his life down, by doing nothing other than what he saw the Father do, and then saying nothing other than what the Father had commanded him to say. Jesus glorified the Father by giving his life so that we could be saved. So if Jesus glorified the Father by laying his life down, can we glorify Jesus in any other way? Now, don't take this all the way. I'm not saying we all have to die physically, but don't we all have to die to the flesh? That's what the Scripture says. Don't we have to be crucified, take up the cross daily? Don't we have to lay our lives down so it is no longer I who liveth, but Christ who lives in me? Don't we have to be transformed in brand new creations? Don't I have to stop being me if he's going to be seen as significant in me? So that when people say, why are you different? Because Jesus is worthy of a difference. It's not just because Jesus did this. It's Jesus changed me. I live different. I think different. I want different. I grab differently than I used to. Because Jesus is significant enough for me to live a brand new life, not just to give me his life. Right? Like, if he's going to give me his life, I should live in a brand new life.